guys, welcome back to the Sparkle Eats Kitchen. I am Megan from Sparkle, and as you know, when we make a recipe, we usually make enough to feed an entire family and even some leftovers. Well, I've gotten a couple comments online and Facebook and everything, and they said this recipe sounds great, but it makes way too much for just me and my husband or just a couple of us. So every so often, I'm going to feature a recipe that you might usually make a lot of, but we're cutting it down to just a couple servings. So we're starting with mac and cheese. So you usually make an entire 9 by 13 or even bigger of mac and cheese. We are cutting it down to just about 2 servings. So this is nice, and if you need to make more, you can always just double this recipe. But this is an easy one to do, and it's actually really quick. So I just have a saucepan here, and I have 2 tablespoons of butter, and I melted that down, and now I'm going to add some flour. Mix this together about 30 seconds or so just to make sure that raw flour taste is gone. Now I'm going to just start putting in our milk. This is about 1.5 cups of just regular milk, and you just want to whisk that together, make sure any clumps are gone. So we just want to bring this up to a boil, and it'll really start to thicken pretty quickly. Now that our mixture is starting to thicken, I'm going to add in our cheddar cheese. You need about a cup of cheddar cheese, and here's what I did here. I grated this fresh. Now you might want to buy it from Sparkle in the bag, but I've found over the years that it melts better if you do a freshly grated cheese. So I'm going to add our pasta. So I cooked the pasta ahead of time. You just need about 1.5 cups of the dried pasta. You can use whatever shape you like, and just cook that according to package directions, even just a little bit undercooked because we're going to bake this. So you just want to add that in and make sure it's nice and coated in the sauce. Now that our pasta is all covered with our cheese sauce, I have 2 small crocks here for our 2 servings. You can also put this in a small baking dish, but I like the individual servings, and make sure you're using an oven-proof crock if you have it. And then you just want to add the mac and cheese and divide it between your 2. Now I'm just going to top this off with a little bit of extra shredded cheddar cheese. And then you just want to put these into your oven at about 375 degrees for about 20 minutes. Everything is all the way cooked through, so you just are heating this and making sure that cheese is melted on top. Then serve this either as a dinner portion or as a side dish, and you have an easy meal for 2.